Tim show today.
Speaking of which, what's shaking YouTubeites? This is the Gabe and Tim show, aka the Overlist, aka the Comic Book Shakers of the Week. We're just a two-man crew today, but we're gonna hold it down for y'all as best we can. So while you guys are congregating in the live chat, it's Freestyle Friday. You know what that means? Let's bust out some freestyle music for you, man. Let's see what I got in store for you. Right here. All righty, what's up, YouTube? I'm sorry I can't play Jimmy Woo anymore. Last time I played it muted it for some reason. I don't know what happened.
Strange.
Yeah, algorithms. What are you gonna do, Gabe? Somebody's good to the people, man.
Yo, what up, everybody? Thanks everybody for showing up today. We got it's a Gabe and Tim show. Gonna run down this list, some fun stuff, and then always stick around for the cool CovrPrice
We'll see
rundown
what's shaking today.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah, man. So once again, this is bought from our friends from CovrPrice.com. Go over to CovrPrice.com, sign up for a 2-week free file or a $6.99 a month to get this here list. And there's a certain theme with the first few books on this list that I'll just leave it at that. Matter of fact, I should pull up the notes myself. Where are they? Here they are. I'm like, I should pull up my own notes.
Your element here.
Yeah. First of all, the show is sponsored by our friends over there. Make sure you sign up. Also, our friends at Bird City Comics, who have a drop coming this Friday. Use discount code LOTLB to get 15% off. And that drop happens to be this bad boy, The Last Ronin. The set will get you $40. I do believe it's cover A and cover B. One of them is in Huckley. I forgot who the other one is, but this drops Friday. I think I got 6 p.m. Pacific. The Last Ronin, The Lost Years. That one looks dope. I like the Last Ronin version of the Turtles, man. So
that was a great story, man.
Oh,
yeah, fantastic.
Man.
That's like one of the best things that came out last year and this year.
Yeah, I mean, they finally made them adult, I guess you can say, for lack of a better.
Well, at least one of them.
Yeah, exactly. One of them. Yeah. I mean, you and I grew up with the original black and white magazine where it was no pizza cowabunga, really. Right?
Oh, no. They didn't even have like the different colored headbands or any of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of which, Eastman was at my LCS for for signing. It was pretty cool, man.
Dude,
So
Eastman's one of the nicest guys you're ever gonna meet in the comic book industry, and the guy's like a legitimate, like, people throw this word around, but he's legitimately a legend and created a whole generation's worth of entertainment, right?
yeah,
Probably one of the richest people I've ever met, I bet. Nicest dude you ever talked to, super into his fans. He'll sign anything and everything that you bring to him.
yeah. And if you're playing at home, reference the documentary "The Toys That Made Us" and look at the one about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's very, very interesting how Eastman and Laird split, because of one wanted to stick to one direction and one meant mass merchandising. I forgot which one was which, but watch it. It's worth a watch, as the kids say. So let's get right to it, boys and girls. The show is brought to you from our friends at CovrPrice, focusing on new sales or the most interesting sales found on the exclusive daily Shakers list. This has changed several times a day. So make sure you check it out every day. Review some of the hottest trending books on the market on, it's not an offer list, I would say. Perhaps a pervy list in some instances, but and some interesting ones on there. But let's get right to it. What do we got first?
All right, number one. Keep an eye on this one. This is a different one we're talking about. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 300, but this is the Spider-Man Classic action figure reprint from 2001. Before the massive success of the Marvel Legends toy line, there was the Spider-Man Classics toy line from Toy Biz. This 2001 action figure series was the first 6-inch scale line of its kind to be produced by Toy Biz with highly detailed and articulated figures. It changes everything for action figures. Each figure came in a detailed package featuring a unique Spider-Man base and the first Toy Biz comic book reprints. This particular figure is the first listed in Series 1 and therefore makes the honor of first Toy Biz reprint. This figure was the more modern version of Spider-Man, where all other three featured a symbiote version, a first appearance version, and a man spider version. The very popular and expensive Spider-Man 2099 reprint, also included in this release, was a KB Toys exclusive, hence its higher rarity. This book popped up on our radar this week due to a big high sale of $500 for a CGC 9.8. That's not bad for a book that sold for $13 in the near mint raw. For being such a key issue in both action figure and comic reprint history, this is a very undervalued raw. That high grade copy may mean that the winds are changing for this cover.
Yeah, Toy Biz. What's a toy store? Good
Yeah,
lord.
KB. Yeah.
You think about it, Toys R Us, KB Toys. it used to be inside malls and
Now it's
everything.
just like,
I don't remember how
a couple of aisles at Target or Walmart.
probably over 6-7 years ago, I used to see this thing everywhere, right? It's, I like to categorize everything pre and post pandemic. I would say during the pandemic, past pandemic, collection has gone through the roof. I don't know, more people have more money, or more people buying at home, or something. But it's collecting is at all time high. So check your boxes for this stuff. So Amazing Spider-Man 301, the Spider-Man Classics action figure reprint from 2001 for $900. All right, next up, maybe you'll get on this if you're a perv. We have Archie's Girls, Betty and Veronica, number 40. The iconic cover by Harry Lucy is the highlight from Archie Girls, Betty and Veronica's early years. Keep in mind, this is 1959. Here we have Riverdale's frightness and exercise attire poses that would raise an eyebrow under today's Instagram, TikTok, blah, 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 influencer standards. Take a look at the covers from the 50s. You'll notice that this sale for a CDC 8.0 is a cool $6,000. It's the highest sale ever for this book, and with good reason is tied with the highest graded other copy and is asking for a price, not sold. It hasn't been sold yet. An astounding good girl cover and beyond the universe of all Archie books, general rarity, highest grade. You look at available options in eBay, maxing out at a CDC 5.5. It's under where you expect it to be land under a publicized auction sitting. I think everyone in this transaction walked away happy. Congratulations all around. And just look at the verbiage on here and what they're doing. It's just innuendo is an understatement to say this. I wonder if if they knew what they were doing. Really, it's pretty funny. Let's see. Really, Betty, I can help it if I can't help it if Archie prefers me. I certainly don't chase him. Does a mousetrap chase a mouse? Poor Archie. He just has so many problems. So Archie's Girls, Betty and Veronica, issue number 40 from 1959, 6 G's for an 8.0.
Whew, that's crazy money for that book.
Yeah, and will we
Archie
see-
books are not, there's some gold in our hills.
There is. Speaking of which, what do we got up next?
Yeah, speaking of Archie, this is one of the best innuendo covers there is. This is Betty and Me number 16. This is from 1968. So we all know Archie for being the friendly teen romance and high school adventures. You got Archie, you got Jughead, Reggie, Betty, and Veronica. But Archie Comics is also known for sexual innuendos and Good Girl, aka headlight covers. With Betty and Veronica promptly displayed in bikinis, Dan Parent has been re-releasing variant covers recently showcasing this. Betty and Me, number 16, may be one of the most popular sexual innuendo covers that collectors have flocked to. And this week, a graded 9.2 sold for an all-time high record of $2,464, which that seems like a really good price for that high of a grade book. That was on a November 28th of this year. It's worth noting that this is only one of two 9.8s, which are the highest graded copies on the census. I'm hoping Archie won't have to beat me off to report on this book.
Yeah, so if you're listening on a podcast, so on the covers is Archie's holding, was it Betty or Veronica? Which one is the blonde? It's Betty.
That's Veronica.
Oh, it's
No,
Veronica.
Betty.
Okay.
Betty.
Yeah, it's
I'm
Betty. So it says, she goes, Archie, do you have any trouble rescuing me? He goes, I sure do, Betty. I had to beat off these other guys. It's not subtle at all.
No.
So Betty and Me, issue number 16 from Archie Comics, 1968. Yeah, I'm telling you, there's gold in them right there. So let's stick to the list here and continue on with, you guessed it, more sexual stuff. This is Deja Thoris, the Adam Hughes Virgin Risque 1 in 50 variant from 2019. Several recent sites and sales phenomena warrant discussion here, all leading to the conclusion that the market is getting over its aversion to nude art in covers. Starting with this book, we all know that Adam Hughes has a massive following that rivals the other modern artists. Add to the recipe the probably maximum print run of 500 or so copies. According out there, there's about 28,000 for number one, according to our friends over at Comic-Con. Factors in the potential returns and that everyone's favorite Martian princess on the cover, right? That she is topless. She has a book in staying power. This week, a raw, sealed in a partially black bag, sold copy at auction for $142.50. The auction is setting a new high by a couple of dollars. A strong showing in the market when there is no news catalyst to move this book. This organic fandom waiting for a book to drop into their saved search results. Why is it? It was part of a larger trend. Have a look at the CovrPrice top 10 this week and the coincidence of the topless Phil Hughes or Poop Kill Hughes second print with 1,000 print run. It broke on a list at number 3. The fine art cover to be featured. Also, note the nude variant, Conan number 24 from Dark Horse, sent a raw high sales in November by a couple of bucks. Look, nudity has always been and will always be in demand. Just look at the many titles that sell because of the factor. There is no shortage of that kind of exploitation for its own sake material. A phenomenon noted here is that is broadening for the phenomenon to note here that it's broadening for rare, excellent, by sought after names and tasteful nudity is no longer a preclusion from being collectible and making up the list and this alike. This week ended up turning a point for the normalization of these kind of books. God damn, that was a lot. Thanks a lot, Matt. But if you want to see the uncensored copy, go over to coverprice.com and you can see the boobies. They show it. But since we're not a family show, but we just can't just show Phil Farm Filth. You know what I'm saying? So Deja Thoris, number one. If I recall correctly, Deja Thoris is part of the Robert E. Howard estate, right? She was a
She's
Conan
from
character.
John Carter of Mars.
Yeah, isn't that who did that? Was it Robert E. Howard or who was
No,
the
yeah, I think it's the same guy that did Tarzan, right? Yes, I think it is
yes
Robert E. Howard.
yeah
Right?
somebody
I might
right
be wrong. Somebody in the chat might be totally like correct us, but
yeah because I was like, who the hell is Deja Thoris? Because I remember Ken Lashley is a friend of the show, and I was like, hey man, I talked to him. I said, that's a nice cover for Deja Thoris. So what's it about? He goes, hell, I don't know. I just do the covers, man. I said okay. But
that
yeah,
movie
Edgar
though, I don't know if
Wright's
you've ever seen it. The Disney John Carter of Mars movie
That's
is
an excellent film,
incredible.
dude.
It's
That's an excellent
incredible.
film. It is way, it was panned like left and right, but
Everybody was like, "Oh, they're stealing from Star Wars. They're stealing from Superman." But you don't know John Carter was way before Star Wars and
exactly.
even way before Superman as well.
And
So
and the main girl on there is one of the prettiest actresses I've ever seen. When I saw her on the screen, I was like, good Lord. But like I always say, Adam Hughes draws some great covers. Internal art, not so much. Just go out and look. I actually have a penthouse comic of Adam Hughes who did the cover on it. So yeah, he's been pervy for a while now. So Deja Shore, the Adam Hughes. Can you really say virgin risque? That almost sounds like an oxymoron. 150 from 2019 sold for $143 in a raw near mint 9 to 9.4. All right. Are we going to keep with it? Why not? Let's keep it sexy, baby.
just go for it. Sexy list. Continuing that with DNA Agents, number 24. This is from Eclipse 1985. We previously talked about Dave Stevens, who is the creator of The Rocketeer, as well as how his good girl style of pinup art has gained in popularity with collectors after being undervalued for so long. Absolutely correct. Planet Comics number 1 and the 3D Zone number 16 may be his most famous covers, but fans are always looking for the next big thing. DNA Agents 24 may only have a few fair market value of being around $30, but people may be taking notice. This week, 2 graded copies sold on November 26th. One was a 9.6 that went for $175. A 9.8 went for a record of $350. Maybe it's time for you to look for the next great Dave Stevens covers.
You know what? Rest in peace. He died way before his
There's
time.
very little art from Dave Stevens out there because he died so young.
I have one of his early comics, and I forgot what it is, but basically she's dressed like a aviator would from the 50s, 60s. Yeah, I forgot what it's called. Airboy. I think it's Airman.
Airboy?
Yeah, I think it's Airboy. Somebody in the live chat, correct me if I'm wrong with that, but it's an awesome cover, and it's just how it was like a pinup. She's wearing like the baggy pants, but she's like fully clothed, but it's just the way Airboy. Thank you very much. Yeah, I knew I wasn't going crazy, and that's the only Dave Stevens book I have. I think I think he did a Rocket Man book, or Rocketeer. That's a 3D comic, and I have that one as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's one of the kind of interesting subgenres of comic books is the 3D comic. I don't know if I've ever actually tried it. It was like back when 3D glasses were just one was red and one was blue.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, we're halfway through
the drive-in theaters and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we're halfway through the list, boys and girls. Let's take a quick little break to hear from our sponsor, My Slab, so I can get a drink.
The platform designed by collectors for collectors just got even better. MySlabs.com is proud to now feature dedicated sections for both raw cards and raw comic books. Browse over 100,000 slab collectibles, authenticated by the industry's most trusted grading companies. Then check out a massive selection of sealed wax and now raw singles and raw lots. Join a passionate, no-nonsense community of nearly 50,000 members and enjoy some of the best buyer and seller protection in the business. And as always, My Slabs offers one of the most disruptive pricing models in the hobby, with seller fees as low as only 1%. So the next time you're forced to pay 10%, 20%, or more to sell something from your collection, head over to MySlabs.com, the low-fee marketplace, by collectors, for collectors.
Great. Make sure if you're selling on anything over $60,000, it's 0% seller fee. So you got that going for you. Great. I got to do this one. Last time I butchered his name and I didn't hear the end of it, man. So let's go with it. Let's go with Sorprendente Obre Rana. Does that sound right?
Works for me.
128. Yeah. we highlighted many issues of the infamous Spider-Man series. If you recall back in the 1970s, a publisher, La Prensa, took it upon themselves to reprint Spider-Man stories in Spanish. However, the point where Green Goblin kills Gwen Stacy, they made a decision to write their own stories, keeping Gwen Stacy alive. They printed 45 copies featuring the original stories centered around Peter Parker Peter Parker Spider-Man's ongoing relationship with Gwen Stacy. These were never reprinted or are quite collectible. For the past several years, they have been rapidly increasing in value. However, this particular issue is a fun what if type cover, though Gwen and Peter are only married with a dream sequence in the series. The lore of this non-canon run, a relationship that never ever sees the blossom in the U.S. comics, and the original unique Spider-Man covers that help support this week's massive sale of $33,778 for a CDC 6.5. Needless to say, this is a new high sale for this issue and this series, but it's a new high sale for the foreign market as a whole. On sale, the one sales changes many U.S. collectors' view of the foreign market. It's time to pay closer to the growing attention to the market. Yeah, this has always been like the book for me when because I have some weird Master of Kung Fu and Doctor Strange foreign books, and what's funny is in the French one, there's no word for kung fu, and so they just say karate, right? Because they don't have a word for kung fu, which was really interesting to me. So I was like, I had to buy it. So every night, my friend the Big To Do went over abroad, and he bought some back for me, and he was nice enough to give them to me. But yeah, look out for those foreign comics, man. We've been talking about it for a while now. That they've been ever since this show has started. We've always been talking about, hey, if you see these, what you would call a foreign variant, before pre-pandemic, dude. Do you remember the 9-pence first appearance of Moon Knight?
Yeah,
it wasn't worth shit.
Nobody cared about
to the point where my friend accidentally bought a copy for really cheap. And he goes, "Oh, damn it! I didn't realize." And I messaged him. I said, "Dude, did you hold on to it?" He goes, "Yep." I said, "Yeah," because now it's worth like what 6 times what he paid for it. It's kind of amazing. So let me try this again. Sorprendente Obre Rana, issue 128, or the Amazing or Spectacular Spider-Man, however you want to pronounce it. So. All right, are we gonna stay away from modern or foreign and modern books that have nudity in them? Let's see. Oh, that's nice.
There's something a little bit different here. This is Star Wars Crimson Empire #1. This is the Dark Horse from 1997 series. Star Wars speculation has had massive gains in the last 3 to 4 years. Many books containing important storylines and first appearances have become collectible comics sought after by collectors and speculators alike. One such book that became a $15 to $20 book was Star Wars Crimson Empire #1. This book contains the first appearance of both Car-Nor Jax and Kur Kanos, I guess. This storyline is this storyline is a favorite amongst Star Wars enthusiasts, and with that adoration comes hopes of someday an adaptation to film or screen. I enjoyed reading this storyline, all 3 parts, plus the BH Kane kill. So count me in that camp for sure. This book has fluctuated in price some, but this week there was a sale of a 9.8 for $480. A lot of those Dark Horse books lingering in those $1 to $2 boxes for decades. Start pulling those out. Start looking for some high grade copies. Star Wars just popped up out of nowhere. It just became popular. Same with those foreign comics.
I think ever since I want to say The Mandalorian came out is when really people started specking on Star Wars again.
It's none of one of those pre-pandemic, post-pandemic. Because I remember when the pandemic hit, that's when I started seeing the Star Wars stuff
Nobody gives a shit
Going
about
crazy.
Dr. Aphra. Well, they did, but I mean, Dr. Aphra is at all-time highs now. I mean, it's kind of amazing. And plus, it's a dope cover. And ever since I saw them on Empire Strikes Back, I was like, who are these guys in red? I need to see more of them because they just look dope. And then, spoiler alert, Kylo Ren and what's her name killed them all, but they gave up at least a good fight, somewhat.
This is a killer cover too. Like this thing just pops.
It does. Yeah.
That's a
All
powerful
right.
cover.
So Star Wars Crimson Empire issue number 1 from 1997 for $480. Speaking of which, boom, we were just talking about I'm sorry, we were just talking about Transformer or something, right? Were we just talking about that? Anyway,
We're always talking about Transformers or Ghost
Yeah.
Rider or Ghostbusters or something.
exactly. Well, drama or no drama, Clayton Crane has illustrated some of the most eye-catching and dynamic exclusive modern covers. This is no exception. 2 of the most recognizable properties do a major crossover in this miniseries. Out of the 10 plus covers, this is the most sought after and most expensive. The Virgin variant was an extremely limited run of 300, each issue coming alongside a certificate of authenticity. Most recently, Crane's covers took a slight dip due to his relationship controversy with the infamous acetate or Asgate, however you want to call it, of CTE2. However, this particular book is increased in price. This week it hit a new high sale for $289 for a near mint raw dog. Back in June, a graded 9.8 sold for $313. The most recent sale indicate the price of a graded 9.8 may be seeing in value increase soon. So I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but today and you got 3 major like trailers drop. The new Transformers, Age of the Beast dropped. Indiana Jones finally dropped their trailer, and I'm missing something else. Who else dropped the trailer?
Transformers dropped. Indiana Jones, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. That's the one. Yeah.
There's a big day for trailers, dude.
Exactly. It was kind of crazy.
I was like, what's going on here? Why is my phone blowing up?
Before I shared, I was like, dude, I already shared this already. I was like, hey, you guys see this? He goes, dude, I shared it on our other group chat. I was like, oh man. I was like, and I was like, and I always think I was watching, first of all, it's just Ghostbusters issue number 1. I just said, man, if Bumblebee doesn't get his damn voice box back, I'm going to be pissed off because we have yet to really hear him talk. Hopefully, he can finally talk again. I think he talked at the very beginning of the Bumblebee movie, I want to say. But
yeah, I mean, he was on Cybertron. I think he was talking normal. I need to see that movie again. That was so cool. But I think he was talking normal.
Bumblebee is a great movie. I mean, to be honest with you, all the Transformers movies are kind of fun, turn off your brain. Like the one that really, that I don't know how they got Sir Anthony Hopkins to be in it, but he was in it, and with Mark Wahlberg with the and it has ties to like Arthurian legend. Have you seen that one?
Oh, no, I got a weird story about going to go see that, but no, I haven't seen that one yet.
It is a really trippy movie. Like they go full on deep into like, the Transformers were part of King Arthur's court and knights and all this crazy shit. Cause I love King Arthur stories and things that, give me another Excalibur. Better yet, you leave Excalibur alone. Let it be on itself.
Lord of Brooklyn in the chat too, real quick. Yeah. Big shout out. Cocaine Bear. The trailer for Cocaine Bear came out today.
Oh yeah, that one is insane. Apparently a bear consumed 40 gallons worth of cocaine or some crazy shit like that. So yeah, 'tis a season to be giving. All right.
Sounds like my uncle on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Am I doing this next one?
No, because you just did Transformers.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah.
All right, go. Because
but I mean, this is your book.
Yeah, this is my book, but I'll let you read it.
Okay. So here we go. Tim's book here. This is Vampirella number 1 from Warren Comics, 1969. Frank Frazetta's influence on the comic book industry is immeasurable. However, one of his greatest gifts to fans was in the form of Vampirella. She is a legitimate cultural phenomenon with tens of thousands of vampy books sold monthly. With the expanding fan base of the Princess of Draculon and the resulting increase in values of certain modern variants, her first appearance have seen steady and persistent growth in value in the last year. A raw, very fine copy sold back in March for $900. October, one sold for $1,200. Finally, this last sale, a very fine copy, sold for $1,291.66. This type of steady growth is evidence of the value of niche comics. It was reported last year that Dynamite sold the worldwide film and television rights to Arana Media Holding, so they got the rights for that now. With the deal reported including all Vampirella stories, characters, and derivative works. The article does suggest that projects are in the works, yet while she may not be gracing the silver screen in the near future, this does present promise. Either way, Vampirella's fandom grows and continues to grow even more, and so does the value of her first appearance.
Yeah, this is the only book that's left that I really want that I consider a grail of mine. I think I have Vampirella number 2, but I don't have Vampirella number 1. And it's such an iconic cover, like, just the posing of it. Obviously I was a huge fan of Rosetta growing up as well. So all of the fantasy work that he did. And if you remember, there was a Skinamax Vampirella movie that came out, I want to say in the 90s. It was
Talisa Soto played Vampirella, right?
Yeah, it was a really bad adaptation of it. So I was like, man, this is whack. But she's not a Dracula per se. But I remember in the 90s, man, Vampirella was everywhere. Oh shit. Speaking of which, you know what? I just picked one up. I missed the first issue, but I saw the second issue as I going through my box of pools here. Yeah, I'm wrong. Never mind. It's Lady Death and Hell Witch. I thought it was Vampirella, but either way, it's still a skimpy cover. But Vampirella number 1 from 1969, a good year to have comics from Warren. $12.92 for a raw 7.0, 8.5. So basically, we're unable to verify the actual grade since it was a raw dog. All right,
hard to find those in good condition because they're so big.
Yeah, it's funny. It's I did your book and you did mine. So this is obviously Wolverine. This is number 310. The great Stephen Platt. Yes. The last time we mentioned this book, we spoke about the 1 in 200 sketch variant that sold for an amazing $22.33 in March of this year. This variant is truly as ghost as the sketch variant has only sold 5 times since 2019. A 1 in 100 colored versions are not as rare as its sketch counterpoint, but has as a sketch counterpart, but has sold 3 times this year. That's an incredible raw sale for $1,389, which is a record high for any sale, graded 9.8s included. Platt's legacy may lie with his Moon Knight covers, but this 1 in 100 and 1 in 200 are his holy grails and most valuable covers by far. See, I did not think that this was worth more than, well, you know what? If his style had changed, and people, if you look at Moon Knight, his run that he did, his style was so much more different than what what you would consider.
It's nothing like when he was doing Moon Knight or when he was doing Prophet. Like he's way more.
Prophet,
I mean, granted, this is like 25 years later, and he's refined his style. But me as a Platt fan, seeing this, I didn't even realize that it was a Stephen Platt cover at first. It's not his same style. It doesn't look like his crazy manic style he had before.
And the awesomeness about it is the scarcity. He doesn't really do. I mean, I believe he moved into the world of film production where he's doing storyboards and things.
Yeah, design and stuff. Yeah,
exactly. So Wolverine number 310 is Stephen Platt, 1 in 100. Rounds out our list. Stick around to see what's shaking today, boys and girls. So let me take a quick breather and go get something to drink. And don't go away, though. I'll be right back. All right, as I seamlessly transition over to the shakers list here, as I always do. Let me see. Boom.
Bam.
Bam. There it is, boys and girls. So this is the CovrPrice top 10. You can see there's the Pop Kills Nakedness. Eminem continues to pop. These are the movers of the week. This is the most units sold, or most. It's good to see the Stock Strange book on there. This is a good read. It's very trippy style done that brings you back. Reminds you of like it's not Ditko-ish, but it's like different in the way that it's drawn. But anyway, we're here to see what's shaking, man. Let's see what's.
It's good to see Lobo still blowing up though too. That bush is not stopping.
Yeah. Well, good old friend over at Hulk 181 for 7.5. There's the look at that, $5,000 for an 8.5 sold for Ghost Rider. Do you want to see what the record sale is? It is absolutely
I got a 5.5 signed by Roy Thomas.
Yeah, I have a 6.5 that's slab but not signed. Highest known value. $264,000. It was via a heritage auction, I want to say. It was.
I remember that. Okay, yeah, that was crazy. Yeah,
it outsold other books that were like first issue, like first Fantastic Four 1 or some other craziness. But just wait till Ghost Rider appears. If you've been watching Marvel's page, they've been showing these kind of snippets and things from the new Midnight Suns game, and to be honest with you, I watched them all, and I was like, I'd love to see an animated film of this. Just put that shit together, man.
Looking at X-Men 1 though, back at the top, it's the first book on the list. Raw, $13,500.
Wow. Yeah.
Again, that's a lot of money to drop on Raw.
Yes,
like,
it is.
I don't know how whoever the sell was or how this went, how somebody would inspect it to make sure you're 1,000% sure there's no restoration on it or anything.
Exactly.
Or trim, any of that stuff.
I'm assuming it's near mint. It says raw no grade because that means that in the sale they didn't specify. Or CovrPrice wasn't able to verify the author, what it was actually graded at. So
yeah, it's too bad. It'd be nice to see what that person thought it was going to be at.
Hell, a 9.2 sold for CDC 9.2 sold for $276,000 back in April of this year.
Just wait till the X-Men start showing up. That's gonna be just a killer book.
Yeah, it is. Jeez. Invincible. Oh, I love these House of Mystery books. It's House of Mystery #1. Look at that. Some crazy ass dogs in there. What the hell's going on? Forgive me, darling, but there's no other way. Wait, Doug, only a silver bullet can destroy a werewolf. Damn, that's messed up. $1,750 for a 6.5. Seems pretty cheap, rather relatively cheap. I mean, 8.0 is the highest known value for $2,280. Shit. For House of Mystery.
Speaking of werewolves, have you seen Wednesday yet, Tim?
No, it's on my list though.
Oh, yeah, dude, just whatever you're watching now, just move Wednesday up to the top.
Does it have Sabrina vibes from it? That's what I'm getting.
Sabrina, but like more clever. I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about Sabrina, the Netflix
Yeah,
series.
the
Is that because that's
the
much
newer
more
series that
different.
came out. Yeah, it's
Exactly. Yeah.
very similar to that, but I think a little bit better writing.
Yeah. I just finished 1899, and yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I mean, you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. It's like if Lost took place on a cruise ship, is the best way I can explain it.
Oh,
It
okay.
starts off as a period piece, turns into a horror show, and then turns to a sci-fi show, and that's all I'll tell you. Just let the story play out, and you'll be like engrossed. And it's spoken in 8 different languages, so I don't watch it with the dub version. Watch it with subtitles on, because each person speaks there are German, Spanish, Cantonese, Dutch, French, Italian. There's something like 8 of them. But if you check out the making of, if you haven't seen it, well, you should probably see it before you see the making of, because it's full of spoilers. Yeah. Good old Tank Girl #1 coming in at 1,000 bones. This Daredevil cover has always been hot. This is kind of a photo of the cityscape that they put in the background. So this is from Daredevil issue number 16 from 1966. First Spider-Man crossover in a title series. First John Romita Spider-Man artwork. Wow. 1,100 for an 8.0. Highest known value is the 9.6 for $3,500. Wow.
And enjoy today's.
This is John Romita's first work. Yeah. Just goes figure, man. Good old Captain America comics. Look at this crazy ass Detective Comics.
He's trying to hit Batman with the chair.
Yeah. I'm telling you, these early Golden Age covers are just straight up goofy, man.
Yeah.
So this Tech Comics number 95. It was already on 95 issues in 1945, which is mind-boggling. $949 for a 6.5. I think that's way undervalued.
That's
$990 for an 8.5
for like an 80-year-old book. Like,
yeah,
come on.
that's nuts, absolutely nuts. But there's gold and then the Mirror Hills.
That Marvel team up's interesting, because that's the whole the third other first appearance of the black suit.
This is the early appearance of black costume 2 weeks after Amazing Spider-Man number 252. So there's also the Secret Wars book.
Mm-hmm.
And I also collect the Spectacular Spider-Man book, which is the first black suit in the Spectacular Spider-Man run. So if you want to be a completist, and get all the first, black suit Spideys, that's what, back in the day, I was like, I need to get all of them. What's up with this book? Okay. Giant Size Avengers issue number 2 from 1974. Death of Swordsman, Origin of Ramatut, and Hawkeye joins the Avengers. Oh, wow. I'm digging that. Look at that cover.
Yeah, King and Ramatut. So they're like the same character. So there's probably spec on that with the movies coming out.
Exactly. I don't want to talk about how many different iterations of Kang there are, because it's mind-boggling. I mean, it's almost like Warlock too. Speaking of which, we got a chance to see Warlock on the screen.
Yeah, for like half a second. I was like, dang, I wanted to see more.
Yeah.
But it looked like he had a gem on his forehead, so that was important to me.
Yeah. It's not the Soul Stone. Remember that.
We'll see whatever it is, but at least they still gave him that aesthetic.
Yeah. And it was a great day of just trailers all around, to be honest with you. It was fun. Speaking of nostalgia, look at this. Thundercats #1 from December 1985. $750 and a 9.8. Man, that's it. 9.8 sold and $22.50 back in 2021. Wow. You would think it'd be worth more, right?
Yeah, well, no one cares about Thundercats.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they do, but it's not like any movies coming out. It's not that much heat, but that's one of those things that people probably been specking on for a while too. For $750 for a 9.8. Yeah.
Let's keep it that way so I can get myself a copy. Look at this goofy kid. Blue Circle Comics issue number 3. Oh my God, is that a Hitler
octopus or something?
Oh my God, that looks weird as hell. Blue Circle Comics from 1944. $700 in a raw grade. Wow.
It's about that. It's about that year.
Yeah. So I can see how this whoever this chick is stabbing him is
and that swordfish, but it's
it's a swordfish, and say Namor's ex-girlfriend or something, man. I wonder who she is. If someone in the live chat knows. And if you haven't, we need proof of life. Really. Look at this. For a second there, I thought it was
Radioactive Man from The Simpsons.
Well, no, I was gonna say, the guy from DC with the fire in his head. Jesus.
Oh, Firestorm.
Yeah, from a distance, it looked like Firestorm, but this is Automan Comics or Atom Man, whatever, man. $6.50 for a 6.5 from Spark Publications in 1946. That's wild.
Look at all that black. Like, what kind of there's and that was like even like the cheapest, worst paper in that time too. So I can only imagine what these things look like.
Someone what the highest known value is. 9,600 for a 9.4.
9.4 for a book like that. That's time machine stuff.
Yep, you're in a time machine if you have that in a 9.4. It's Wolverine is moving. I'm a man. Nemesis Prime sold us that during our Lords of Longbox auction.
Nice.
Ultimate Fallout. This one has always been fun.
That's one of those other like the other super expensive, like hard to find Adam Hughes cover.
Yeah, Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes. Adam Hughes 1 in 10, $600 in 9.4, $17.99 and 9.8 sold back. So almost same time last year. But this one was one of the early pieces of art that CovrPrice used on their website. It was this image. Yeah. And another fantastic cover. I want to say,
what year was this again?
This is 2006.
Yeah, so they weren't really doing variants back then.
No, and I want to say this is an homage or a straight up swipe of something, that he used as a reference of. It just seems very, dare I say, even Dan Stevens or Dave Stevens, Steven-esque or somebody. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's,
I don't think anybody who draws hot chicks that is not somehow influenced by Dave Stevens one way or the other.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, my Iron Fist book is on here. So is my. I think this Phoenix book is really going to jump when it does come. So this is.
I love that cover just because I like to see Cyclops drown a little bit.
Yeah,
water in his mouth.
X-Men 101. This is the first appearance of the Phoenix and a raw new $578. Wow. Highest known value is 13,000. Hopefully, with the Feige effect, we get the full-on X-Men at all their might.
I know. You think they're going to do Dark Phoenix again?
They're going to have to wait a while. I mean,
we already got 2 iterations of it.
Exactly. Wait a while, let it build up, and do it. And
it killed both film franchises too.
Yeah. Ironically, yeah. I mean, you gotta build it up, man. You gotta let Marvel Girl become, Phoenix and then Dark Phoenix and everything. I mean, and she's so powerful as Phoenix. It's almost amazing. I mean, how she's gone on the radar. I would imagine though that, people are gonna one day say, oh yeah, she's one of the most powerful beings in the universe, which she is. Here we go. We're just talking about this book. I sold one at the live action, but mine was a second print or first print. This is the Adigrana 4th print purple variant. This is going for $550 and 9.8. Reprints, first prints of Dr. Afra 000 and BT-1. See, if you notice all of the I had this one and this one. And I had doubles, so I need to probably get rid of these, but this is the other hot one, the 1 in 25. But
yeah, people have been specking on Dr. Afra since the moment this book came out. Yeah,
forever. Yeah, I mean,
and nothing's came out of it. I mean, other than the prices keep going up, but we haven't gotten her in anything, which is pretty interesting.
Nothing concrete, that is. Yeah. Hey, look at this Gunslinger Spawn 2017.
This is a pricey book.
Spawn 174 from 2008. I know King of Golden State has it. I think he was showing it off at one point. First appearance of Gunslinger Spawn, $531 for a 9.6. Highest known value is a 9.8 at $1,450. Wow. Yeah, but yeah, recently, they kind of he reintroduced himself, I guess, the Gunslinger Spawn. I was a huge fan of of the McFarlane toys when they did these kind of variant iterations of Spawn. Like I remember there being like a samurai Spawn, and there was like a medieval Spawn, and all these other different versions of Spawn, and they just created these awesome toys. I mean, so much that McFarlane ended up getting sued by the NHL, some hockey player, because he was doing I guess the story is he was doing remember his toy line that he did?
Yeah, the hockey players sued him because that was the name. His name was Tony Twist, and that was the name of like one of the mobsters in the Spawn cartoon.
Yeah. So it wasn't because of the toys then, the action figures then.
Not that I know, but I know the hockey player story. And it was about the comics. It was about
He was
Spawn
like,
the
yo,
comics and everything.
these toys are making more money than I do. I need to get some of that. Yeah, I have this Deadly Hands of Kung Fu number 19. This is the first appearance of White Tiger, Hector Ayala, $500 and a 9.0. God, I got to grade mine. 9.8 sold for $3,500 back in May, but recently a 9.0 sold for only 9.0 sold for $500. Yeah, this entire run is dope. I love all these Deadly
Oh, the
Hands
covers
Kung
are
Fu
great.
magazines. Oh yeah,
Yeah, these are all like black and white magazines. They have like kung fu moves in it and stuff that they
yeah.
teach you.
There's articles in there. You could buy
Mhm.
like ninja stars in there. You
Yeah.
remember, you could buy like all these like kind of bow staff and all kinds of crazy shits in there. It's like a comic book slash magazine, like how to. It's hard to explain it if you ever open one up though. It's pretty interesting. Like there's like maybe 2 or 3 stories inside of it, but then they also have like interviews with like the
Master
guy who,
martial artists and stuff, and like
exactly, yeah.
Bruce Lee
Most
articles and everything. It was a kung fu magazine with a couple comic books pushed into
Yeah,
it.
well, in 1975, that was the height of like kung fu madness, right? If you think about Bruce Lee at his height, in 1975, he'd already, he died a year later, I believe in 1970, or no, he died in 73, I think. But his movies continued on into, famously The Game of Death, where half the movie is not even him in it, right? It's a body double, so yeah, it's very tragic how he died at such a young age.
Well, same with his son.
Yeah, and his son died on set by live ammunition, which is crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's like
Very
the curse of
reminiscent to what's happened recently. Yeah.
Legion of Superheroes. Look
I
at
love this
book.
cover, dude.
Yeah,
I
I
would
have one of
love for
these.
this to happen like live action, just to see just these things kind of team up
Well,
together.
we got 3 of them, so 4.
Please don't give us
maybe.
Morbius. Get us a better
Yeah.
Morbius.
Yeah, Morbius is last when WonderCon was going on, me and Nemesis Prime saw it in the theater, and and we came out of it. I was like, "What just happened? What was that? What can you explain
Oh,
to me
I'm
what
glad I didn't
happened?"
go with you guys then.
Oh no, it was neither great nor was it bad, but it was just there,
Yeah.
and it was just like they could have done so many cool things with it, but I was just like, "What did I just watch? And why is this here?" I mean, but hopefully they can redo it properly, man. But this is the first appearance of the Legion of Monsters, $416 for a 9.2.
All we need is Ghost Rider, but he's around the corner,
Look,
dude.
somebody's specking hard on this bad boy. March of 2022, 10 grand. Are you crazy? But I guess so. Hell, wait. When was WonderCon? When we went?
That was March, wasn't it? Was it March
Yeah.
or April? It was Easter, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like the first weekend of Easter. So maybe, whoever bought it for 10 grand was specking on Morbius at the time. It's not like you only think, right? But I think it's only a matter of time between that, the Midnight Suns game, and all the stuff that they're alluding to. I think it's horror is right around the corner. I mean, I just watched Into the Multiverse of Madness again the other day. I absolutely love that movie. I don't care what people say.
It's a good movie. It has its parts, but it's enjoyable.
It's if anything, it's too short. It needed to be a longer film, I think, to really flesh everything out.
I think what it was is just they've been doing too much. Is that they just keep revealing too much in the trailers, and then the Illuminati got spoiled for me before I saw it. So I was like, oh, all this is I already know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I knew they were coming, but if you think they're dead, then you're not paying attention to what the multiverse is.
Oh yeah,
right. You know what I'm saying?
No, we're getting
spoiler alert.
We're getting the Fantastic Four. It's happening, right? So.
Oh yeah, we are, and there's a reason. There's a what they call it, the Legion of Reeds or whatever they call them.
The Council of Reeds.
The Council Reeds, yeah. So they exist in every multiverse. Our friends over at 8 Billion Genies, number 1, the Trish Fortune Bird City Super Mario 3 homage, limited to $400 and a 9.8. Wow! Congratulations to them at 8 Billion Genies over at Bird City. And speaking of which, tomorrow, boys and girls, you can get your Bird City drop at 6 p.m. Pacific. So set your timers, set your alarms so that you don't miss out. And where is my graphic for it? This is dropping. The Last Ronin and Huckley and JP. I forgot who the other artist is, but these are you can buy the set for $40. Use discount code of LOTLB. Save 15% off. Our girlfriend over at Bird City Comics, and make sure you sign up for them and use your discount. Use and abuse it as much as you can. So that's it. We made it, Gabe.
We did it.
We did it. Any last words?
Everybody, thanks for showing up. I'm gonna go. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go watch Wednesday after this.
You know what? I'm gonna go watch Wednesday too after I pass out. Hey, thanks you guys all for joining us. For everybody, I shipped your books. I'm still waiting on the address for Spawn. Whoever bought my Spawn number 8. I think so if you're out there, please give me your address because you gave me money, but I don't know where to send your book. So watch it. I get all kinds of people say, it was me. I was like, all right. Till next time, boys and girls, keep digging in them long boxes and have a great weekend. We'll see you Tuesday for the Cover Price Top 10. Until next time, keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.
Shake and make it, pull it back.
Oh my God.
Somebody show that weapon. Hold on and get some, boy.
Back in, why that's on beat.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 3 greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
TV.
Now that's a name I've not heard.
TV.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is
Shake and make it, pull it back.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is In this, you shall know that the Lord is
Hold on and get some, boy.
Jack, here's the deal. I'm the best there is.
In this, you shall know that the Lord